Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is the final Dynamite before AEW All Out here on Total Extreme Wrestling. Looking forward to it. We may as well just jump straight into it. The show is already booked, ready to go, and we tried to load the card up tonight. We've got a big main event, a couple of big matches in between. Let's hope that we can follow up our best ever Dynamite last week with another really solid one here tonight. Let's jump straight into it. Alright, on the pre-show, we've got Peter Avalon telling Brandon Cutler that he may as well just go ahead and quit the business because he is terrible. Harsh, very harsh words from Peter Avalon, but look, sometimes you got to say the truth. 36 rated for that one. On the pre-show as well, we had 2.0 with Danny Garcia taking on Top Flight and Fuego del Sol. 37 rated for this one with 2.0's team picking up the win. Best of the match was Jeff Parker, 44. Pretty good. Alright, we open up the main show this week. We have the 8-man tag match. So all 8 competitors in the ladder match coming up at the pay-per-view, fighting it out here in a bit of a preview. So we had Rey Fenix, we had Team Taz's Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, and Lance Archer on one team. And we had Will Hobbs, Miro, and Sammy Guevara with Orange Cassidy on the other team. So the babyfaces and the heels. Only exception is Sammy Guevara technically is a heel still, and he's on the babyface teams because there was a slight unevenness there. But nonetheless, 71 rated for the match, which is a lot better than I expected. Miro was the best of the match, 77. Sammy Guevara was the best of the match with 80. I didn't see that. Miro 77, second best. The worst of the match was Will Hobbs, as expected, 47. That's okay. But yeah, look, a big win here for Hobbs, and Cassidy potentially could gain a bit of popularity with a risk that it may cost the heels some. So I'm hoping that isn't the case. Miro got the pinfall victory, so you have to believe that any benefits will go to him, not the lower card guys. But we'll have to wait and see. So a solid match, and I think this ladder match is going to be pretty good. You know, out of the favorites to win this, you know, Miro is probably the most likely. I mean, we could do Guevara, but I think most likely at this point it probably will be Miro, just as like a roadblock, not as a big, you know, pay-per-view match or anything like that. Just a Dynamite or a Rampage main event with the TNT, with the world champion. Lance Archer's another one as well I could think of, and maybe Rey Fenix. We know they would deliver pretty solid matches, so we'll have to wait and see. Post-match, Hobbs, Guevara, Cassidy, and Miro, so basically the babyface team, had a bit of a stare down. So, you know, obviously at the pay-per-view, they're going to be against each other. So that alliance was quickly done with, and they just re-established that, hey, we're going to be fighting each other. So, you know, let's not mess around here. Next up, the Inner Circle found Malachi Black in the locker room, and you know what happened then? They beat him down, so a bit of a mugging onto Malachi Black. Jericho says that he's going to bring the pain at All Out. So teasing that he's going to amp it up and bring back the Painmaker at All Out to try and match it with Malachi Black. Should be a good one, that one. So we'll have another segment here. Jericho will be in a match later on, but I kind of thought about it, you know, Malachi Black really does seem like the heel in this situation. He kind of has been targeting the Inner Circle. So we're trying to flip it a little bit and make sure that we really establish who's the heel, who's the babyface, by having the Inner Circle kind of beating down Malachi a little bit. And we're going to try to have Malachi persevere, overcome all that, and eventually potentially beat Chris Jericho. So the other bit of news is that Darby Allin is now back from injury. So I'm probably going to have the pairing of Malachi Black and Darby Allin as an alliance. I really believe that would be a fun duo, and I think that could work for us. So probably most likely we might see the Inner Circle trying to jump Malachi Black again, with Darby Allin coming in for the save, potentially at the pay-per-view, to return Darby. Alright, next up we had Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt teaming up to try and take down Park and Penta. 71 rated match. Jungle Boy 61, Penta 59, Park carried the match 82. Marco Stunt was okay, 44. So we gave the win here to Park. Would have loved to have Luchasaurus in this spot. Obviously we don't have access to Luchasaurus, he's out injured. So we had to try and call in Marco Stunt to do it. He didn't do a great job, but we still got a 71 rated match. So we can't be too disappointed with that. Marco Stunt took the pin, Park put him away. Good match. Yeah, obviously a way just to keep building the storyline, keep building a bit of tension between Jungle Boy and Park, and Death Triangle will get the upper hand on Jurassic Express. Next up, Brit Baker says that she's going to be champion for 365 days. I think she's at 340 at the moment. Brandy Rhodes, she promises to end her championship reign. It's a bit of a promo back and forth here in the ring between these two, setting up the pay-per-view match. 53 rated, so nice segment here. We used Tony Schiavone to try and boost it up as well, and I think it worked. So I really believe this pay-per-view match will go down pretty well. I'm hoping around the 50 mark. That's kind of being very hopeful, but I think it will go down pretty well. We've got a bit of good storyline heat there. I think it'll be decent. Cody Rhodes asks Adam Page to be his partner tonight. Adam Page does accept. So we're going to have Adam Page teaming up with Cody to take on MJF and Christian Cage. So we're going to go a bit all out here tonight, no pun intended, but we are trying to have a big episode to go home with. And we're going to have the World Champ in action, bit of a tease for two of our top matches of the pay-per-view in our main event. Sting names Paul White as the special enforcer for Dustin Rhodes, I should say, versus Anthony Ogogo. So we're trying to add a bit of star power to this match. I've realized, look, this match, we're trying to make it something. We're trying to push Anthony Ogogo. We're giving it a shot. Why not? Let's see what we can do. Let's see if there's anything there. I realize this match hasn't got a lot of star power. Paul White's doing nothing. Special enforcer, yeah, he kind of fits the bill. Why not? He's a commentator. Kind of works for AEW as one of the officials. It would work. So special enforcer here, just to make sure it's a fair fight. Then the Nightmare Factory, doesn't get involved. The Nightmare family doesn't get involved. The Factory doesn't get involved, and then it's a clean, fair fight. 51 rated. I thought this was actually going to do a little bit more than this. I did try and have QT and Dustin involved here on the mic. That probably brought things down, but look, we're going to try. We'll try and boost this match up because at the moment it's going to be a dud. Next up, the Wild Things took on the Good Brothers for a 74 rated match. I'm surprised we haven't done this match yet, but I figured, okay, well, we haven't done it. We may as well do it here tonight on Dynamite. The Wild Things grabbed the victory with Eddie Kingston pinning Luke Gallows. So we decided to have Kingston pin Luke Gallows in hopes that we job out the Good Brothers here to give Eddie Kingston a bit of a boost. The Good Brothers have an inflated popularity. They've got a lot more popularity than we bargained for. Mid-50s, we didn't expect that. Obviously, kind of riding off the coattails of the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega. So they have that luxury. So we're not really worried or concerned about them losing popularity. I know they can gain it back. Whereas someone like Eddie Kingston, it's been a bit more difficult for him to gain it. So this is a great opportunity for him to try and maybe get a little bit extra heading into the pay-per-view. So Moxley 81 was the best in the match. So very good stuff. 74, another solid one here tonight. We had a CM Punk debut recap video. So kind of a quick video just to recap the Punk debut segment before Kenny Omega comes out for his segment. Don Callis finishes crowning Kenny Omega as the best in the world, and he and Kenny say that he will re-retire CM Punk at All Out. No CM Punk tonight. We decided to try and keep his appearances a little bit more sporadic, a little bit more special. We'll have him appear on Rampage instead. We wanted Kenny Omega to have the floor tonight to cut a promo here, and obviously, be re-crowned as the best in the world to carry out that portion of the story. 87 rated segment, really good. Even though it's 87, it still brings the storyline heat down because it was so high. But that is still a good, solid segment. And Kenny Omega doing his job, doing a really nice promo. Chris Jericho took on Frankie Kazarian in a 74 rated match. Jericho 83, Kazarian 44. These two men met about a year ago or so, and it was around a low 70s match. Kazarian's now a single star again. I thought, let's see, let's put Kazarian in another high profile situation. We needed one more really good match, and I didn't really know what to do, but I thought, Jericho hasn't got one. Let's use him here again, even though he was involved in that segment earlier on. So good match. Jericho picks up the win. Post-match, though, Malachi Black, even though he's wounded, he clearly is in no condition to fight. The lights go out. He's in the ring. He's holding his shoulder. He's trying to fight. But eventually, the Inner Circle jump him. They take him down. And again, it's a mugging. And Malachi Black, the question is, will he make it to the pay-per-view? Well, we don't know, but 84 rated here. So the tide to turn. In the beginning of this feud, it was really Malachi Black. Was able to jump the Inner Circle when they didn't expect it, and able to get the jump on them and take them down. Well, the Inner Circle kind of flipped it here. They've been coming after Malachi Black. They've been searching for him. They've been trying to find him and attack him first, and it's been successful. Well, Malachi Black, he tries to do the jump here himself with the lights go out, lights go on. But because he's so wounded, because he's beaten down earlier in the night, he just doesn't have enough energy, doesn't have enough in the tank to successfully do it here. So it's a bit of a fail for him. But yeah, look, the numbers game is certainly weighing on Malachi here, and if we do introduce Darby Allin to the storyline, which I think is the plan, it will even things up a little bit. And maybe, we bring Sammy Guevara back into it. We could do Jericho and Guevara versus Malachi and Darby. If not, at least Proud and Powerful are there as well for a tag team match, which we know will go down very successfully. Okay, the main event, Cody, Adam Page versus Christian and MJF, 78 rated. Probably thinking a little bit more. I was probably hoping for an 80, but 78 still pretty good. Adam Page 80, Cody 78. I think Cody, really off his game. He was probably the missing piece here. I think he definitely should have performed higher than that. MJF 85. Christian was pretty good, 74. But in the end, Cody and Adam Page picked up the win after Cody Rhodes pinned Christian Cage, and he was able to do whatever it took to defeat Christian here. So, bit of a momentum boost for Cody and Adam Page heading into the pay-per-view. So, MJF's got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. In the end, a 79 rated edition of Dynamite. So we did it. We really wanted to have another big show, no pun intended, heading into All Out. And hopefully that's good enough to kind of give us the momentum that we need heading into the pay-per-view. Alright, the results for Dynamite, and we had NXT first. They had 76 rated, 7,000 people attended. Pretty good stuff. They had 745,000 viewers. Not a bad show in the end, actually. Their main event, 82 rated. Pete Dunne, Drake Maverick. How did that get that rating? I don't know. Somehow, Drake Maverick pulled out a 66 rated performance. Pretty good. For us, our TV rating, 1 million viewers in total again, which is great. 897,000 viewers on TNT. So, another solid ratings this week. Obviously, down from last week's big episode. But when you think about it, no CM Punk, so we didn't use him. We didn't have to use him. We'll save him for Rampage, and Bryce Remsburg, he'll re-sign. So we'll save CM Punk for Rampage, which is good. I don't want to, I feel like you don't want to have CM Punk every week. You keep him a little bit more special than that. If you got 2 shows a week, maybe just keep him on 1. Don't put him on every single show. Just keep it a little bit more special. But yeah, Darby Allin is officially back, which is huge for us. 43 popularity for Darby. Before he left, he got injured in the match with Kip Sabian. But before that, he had an 80 rated match with Jon Moxley. So Darby was really on fire, really looking good. He had a pay-per-view match with MJF as well. So he was really getting used in a high capacity. So his injury was a bit of a loss for us, a tough loss. But fortunately for us, he's now back, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. And I think pairing him with Malachi, 2 baby faces with that bit of a darker persona, I think it will be a step in the right direction to kind of kick things off. Want to have a quick little look at the popularity changes for a few. Eddie Kingston, as we said earlier, big win, able to get the pinfall in his match. Now moving up to 50 popularity in a few areas. 49 still in the Southeast, but he is getting close to breaking that 50 barrier, which would be amazing. If we can get him there ASAP, we might be able to get him there after the match at the pay-per-view, which would be awesome. Kenny Omega, nearly in the 80s across every area. In the Southeast, 81. So plenty of progression from him. Still gaining a lot out of this storyline right now with CM Punk, which is obviously ideal. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Will Hobbs, he got the victory in the tag team match. Doesn't look like he gained anything out of it. We'll have a look at some of the others. Ricky Starks, well, he's gained popularity. He didn't lose anything, so that's a positive. Orange Cassidy hasn't gained anything, so it does look like there's been too much of a loss by the heels who lost that match. No popularity loss anyway, so that's reassuring. We didn't have to really suffer that just to try and give the babyfaces a win. Brandy's got 46 pop heading into her match, which is huge. Brit Baker beating Brandy will be massive for Brit Baker's progression in her career, so that'll be a great way, hopefully, to gain as much popularity as we can for Brit Baker, just to get her in a position where she can truly be the star of the division. You know, she's nearly been champion for a year. 8 title defenses. She won it in August, week 4 of August 2020, which I guess it has been a year. I mean, I don't know. Before I checked it, it said it hadn't been a year, but so she has been champion for a long, long time. 341 days, the game says. So, a long time, which is great to see. She's obviously doing really, really well. So, I'm very confident that we can keep building her beyond. Obviously, the thing is, we have to try and establish someone else to take that belt from her. Who's that going to be? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. That's probably where we've kind of gone wrong a little bit. We do have one more talent point to spend, so we can try and figure out what we're going to do. What we may do is we might go with motivating. We've had a lot of people not giving a lot of, being really off their game or not giving 100% in a lot of their performances. So we can try and capitalize on that and fix that a little bit. I think that'd be really good for us long term. AEW Dark here on the pre-show. Fuego del Sol gets a promo, 10 rated, nothing to write home about. But look, I don't know what we're going to do with Fuego. I'm giving him some promo time. I'll give him some matches. Let's see what the kid can do. I'm not expecting a lot. Rocky Kazarian gets a win over Sean Dean to try and, turn Kazarian's momentum around. He's currently in a cooled momentum, so a few wins here to try and turn him around. Hopefully, that'll be the plan over the next few weeks anyways. Bad Country loses to the Butcher and Blade. Similar situation, trying to give the Butcher and Blade a bit of momentum. I don't have a lot of, big plans for Butcher and Blade either, but I'd like to try and, get their popularity towards the mid-30s, maybe low 40s, and have them a little bit more of a factor, but it seems like it's going to be a struggle to make that happen, and probably not really worth doing it anyways. Alright, to kick off this week's episode of Dark, Paul White is in the ring, and he promises to call Ogogo and Dustin Rhodes down the middle. So he's going to be the special enforcer for this one, and he doesn't have any favorites, anything like that. Anthony Ogogo, though, he doesn't believe him, neither does QT and his crew. So chance here for Ogogo to get on the mic and speak, and also to have Paul White in this segment to try and boost the storyline up a little bit. So we're trying to add a bit of star power to what has obviously been, a pretty shitty storyline. Let's be real. Like, it's a battle of guys that no one cares about. Dustin Rhodes has a bit of a following, but everyone else, nobody cares about them. So adding in Paul White, hopefully, creates a little bit more interest and might elevate the match a bit. I don't know. I doubt it, but that's the idea anyways. And hey, at least it did get a 54 rated segment and did boost up the storyline heat. So I suppose, job well done, I guess. Next up, Top Flight took on the Men of the Year and lost. So Men of the Year pick up another win here. Ethan Page 38, Scorpio Sky 43. A little bit down on their performances here, but nonetheless, pretty good. Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy cut a promo about their upcoming matches at All Out. So 55 rated here. Good promo from both Cassidy and Statlander. Combining them both here, obviously, to try and help Statlander and maybe develop her skills and her popularity, but also to get Orange Cassidy a promo in. And look, I think it helped both. Both of them did pretty well. Chris Statlander, though, she was pretty terrible, so I'll take that back. With no script to follow, her dialogue was a mess. So I did forget to make it a scripted promo, but I thought, hey, let's give it a shot. But clearly, we need to stick to the script next time. FTR cut a promo on the tag team division, so the state of the division for 56. Good stuff there from FTR. Look, I haven't used FTR enough, and I know this, and they're such a great team. I need to get them more in the mix, and that'll be the plan once we're done with All Out. We're going to get FTR back in the mix and back with a push. Next up, Ricky Starks took on Colt Cabana in a 55 rated match. These two have pretty great chemistry, and it showed in their performances. That's great to see. Colt 51 and Ricky Starks 50. We gave the win to Ricky Starks. Bit of a win here for Ricky to try and give him a bit of momentum heading into the ladder match. Brandon Cutler has a promo. He says that he felt betrayed by Peter Avalon, and if he can't beat him, he's going to have to rethink about his career and where he's currently, what his future's going to be and where he's going to be. So 23 for this one. Didn't exactly boost up the storyline heat, but a chance for Cutler to get on the mic anyways and attempt a promo. So he's had 9 segments now in waiting to turn him heel, which once he loses to Peter Avalon, then we'll go ahead and change him over to a heel and join up with the Young Bucks and the Elite and be their stooge. Alright, in our main event, Brian Cage defeated Matt Sydal in a 59 rated match. Brian Cage 60, Matt Sydal 44. Yeah, pretty good here. Obviously, similar situation. We wanted to give Brian Cage a win to give him some momentum heading into the pay-per-view. Matt Sydal's coming off a huge match with Kenny Omega, so I thought this would be a good opportunity for him to showcase his skills again. 59 rated match. Pretty good. Can't complain with that one. And that will give us a 53 rated edition of Dark. Alright, AEW Rampage. Let's get into it on the pre-show. Shawn Spears picked up a quick win in a 25 rated match over Wheeler Yuta. On the main show, Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho were in the ring, with Chris Jericho giving Sammy Guevara an ultimatum. Does he pick the Inner Circle and help fight Malachi Black, or does he go with the ladder match and put all his focus on that? So Sammy's got the choice to make. Do I try and potentially risk myself getting injured and cost a chance of winning the ladder match to help the Inner Circle, or do I try and focus on my own career, my own main event goals and aspirations of potentially becoming world champion and put all my energy into that ladder match? Jericho wants to know, and Sammy Guevara's going to make that choice. 94 though for that one. Really good stuff there by these two. Lance Archer and Miro went one-on-one for a 64 rated match, with Lance Archer getting a surprise win over Miro after grabbing a handful of tights. Jake Roberts interfering as well. It was all happening, but Lance Archer with a shock surprise win. We did keep Miro strong, which is why the match quality did drop considerably, but we wanted to make sure that Miro was not going to lose too much popularity, taking a loss here to Archer, who we are trying to keep strong and potentially keep him in a really good position to maybe challenge for the championship if we do decide to have him win the ladder match, which is still up in the air at the moment, but a very strong possibility. Great match though, 64, and hopefully that will help Lance Archer's popularity out a little bit without hurting Miro too much. Park says that Jungle Boy does not belong in his league. He's going to embarrass him at All Out, so Park does not think Jungle Boy is ready to compete as a singles wrestler against someone like him, so we'll find out at All Out if Jungle Boy is capable. Only a 2-match show here tonight, so we've got a longer one here with Nick Jackson and Eddie Kingston. Nick Jackson 81, Eddie Kingston 62, with Nick Jackson picking up the win over Eddie for 77. Nice match in the end, lacked a bit of psychology, but nonetheless, good solid match here in the main event of Rampage, which you can only imagine will help Eddie Kingston's popularity. Being a part of a match like this, despite the loss, this is probably Eddie Kingston's best match he's had here in the series. And the good news is that Eddie performed at 62 himself, so there's a definite improvement by Eddie as of late. Nick Jackson 81, obviously great. Post-match, a brawl broke out. The Young Bucks and the Wild Things decided to fight, but the Good Brothers came in to help give the edge to the Young Bucks and allowed the Young Bucks to ultimately have the last laugh here. And the final segment of the show, CM Punk, Kenny Omega made their match official. They signed a contract. Kenny Omega tried a cheap shot on CM Punk, but ultimately failed. And CM Punk got a small little upper hand on Kenny Omega. Just a tiny little tease of what is to come. Sting, of course, is our GM. He's out there to officiate it. Don Callis out there to talk a bit of trash as well. 100 rated segment, as always. This is going down very, very well, this storyline. I'm looking forward to seeing it all take place at All Out. And now we are ready for All Out. 82 rated edition of Rampage. Pretty damn good. Obviously only a 2-match show, but great main event with Jackson and Kingston, and 2 excellent promos. So good show overall, and now it's time for All Out. Alright, let's take a quick look at Rampage. 1.52 TV rating. Wow, really solid. And that includes 823,000 viewers on TNT, so that's probably one of our strongest viewerships to date globally, and of course for Rampage as well on TNT. Very, very good. Sean Spears, he accepts his contract extension, so we're going to keep Sean Spears for the foreseeable future. The other piece of news is that Luchasaurus is now back, so Jungle Boy is obviously having to deal with the Death Triangle alone. Now we can kind of reinsert Luchasaurus here into the mix and maybe go back to having a tag team match. Although we have done Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros a fair few times. So, those matches have always been great. In fact, it's the best match that Luchasaurus has had was against the Lucha Bros. So, we know that's a good go-to match if we need to. But at the moment, it's all about Jungle Boy as the singles, and let's hope that he can keep on thriving there. Alright, heading into All Out, our storyline heat, obviously Adam Page, Christian Cage has been going great for the last few weeks. Brandy and Brit a little bit lower, 42, but I'm hopeful that it will still deliver. The Casino Battle Royal is pretty solid, 49, I think is a lot better than I ever expected for that one. The ladder match, a touch low as well, 65. But considering there's a fair few lower to mid card guys in this match, like Starks and Hobbs, I think I'll take that. Cody and MJF, 78. So after that big tag team match, did bring down the heat a little bit. But 78, I still think that's more than enough to work with. Maybe we try and squeeze a promo or two in from both guys heading into the main event at All Out to try and elevate their stat a little bit more. Park and Jungle Boy is really set up for a big one here. 70 heat is really, really good. Malachi Black in the Inner Circle, that's obviously going really, really well as well. 84, that's going to be the makings of a big one. Punk and Omega, 93, which is awesome. The Factory, the Gun Club, 48. So it's actually not that bad now. 48 is pretty decent for what will be a Go-Go versus Dustin Rhodes. The Wingman versus Brandon Cutler, 36. It's not terrible, so that's okay. And the Young Bucks and the Wild Things, 77. So that's pretty good. That's more than enough for what we need. And of course, the last one was just the Tag Team Turmoil storyline, which is sitting at 44, where a lot of the tag teams in AEW fight it out. So we are well poised for All Out. Things are looking pretty good in that regard. So we'll have a quick little look at our popularities heading into it. So obviously Kenny Omega, another big segment here. He's now fully fledged in the 80s across the board in every area because of his interaction with CM Punk. That is really good to see. Malachi Black's been gaining more popularity as well, 72 from him. Even CM Punk has gained popularity. He's now getting nearly to 85 across the board. That's insane. So already in 2 weeks, CM Punk has been gaining popularity. Jericho's 85 across the board. That is huge. Now, Miro took the loss this week. He's still sitting at 72, so I don't think he lost any popularity despite losing to Lance Archer. So Lance, I think he may have gained a little bit. Yes, he has. He's gone from about 58, 59 into the 60s, which is fantastic to see. So that worked. Lance Archer gained some popularity, and Miro didn't have to lose any to make that happen, which is great to see. That's exactly what you want. So that's a huge plus for us. Jungle Boy heading in, 58 in the Southeast, which is where we will probably hold the pay-per-view. Maybe we'll hold in the Great Lakes. I don't know if we want to really make it all about CM Punk. We probably can. But that's looking pretty good. Not too much to talk about with the rest of our roster. Eddie Kingston, though, he's almost into the 50s, which is great to see. So I definitely think after this Wild Things and Young Bucks match, he will be well and truly into the 50s, which would be huge. Ricky Starks has been gaining popularity as well. He's nearly in the mid-40s in every area, so he's been on the rise. So that's really good. Heading into the pay-per-view, that's really good signs. Will Hobbs, obviously, he has a big factor of the pay-per-view, but only sitting at 43 popularity. So he's probably the true, really weak link in that match. But I'm confident that he'll at least have an okay showing and not embarrass himself. But that's kind of where we sit at the moment. We're heading into All Out. That's our next show. It's our next pay-per-view, and I'm really looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you join us for All Out. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Total Extreme Wrestling. If you enjoyed it, leave a like on it and subscribe. All Out is up next.